Hey girlies, it's Tammy. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're going to be trying out the new SHISEIDO Synchro Skin self-refreshing foundation, which sounds so interesting. But before we get started, I am still a little bit sick. I sound worse than I actually am. I just have a little bit of a blocked nose, but I'm through the fever. I'm through the worst of it, so yay. So I have 3 shades in this foundation. They did go ahead and send this over to me, so it is from PR, but of course all opinions are my own and they didn't asked me to make this video. They also sent over 2 concealers, which look so cute and tiny, and then I also have a powder. This is called the Invisible Silk Loose Powder. So we're just going to try it out today and see what it's saying for my oily skin. I haven't actually read about this foundation, so I need to read through what the claims are and everything, how much it is, all of that good stuff. I have been breaking out recently, mostly because I was sick, but also right after I tried that Smashbox foundation, you know, the matte one that I tried in my last testing video. Literally the next day I broke out in the biggest like cystic acne, and it's just been consistent ever since that day. So I don't know if it is the foundation because I haven't used the foundation since then. I'm working on getting my skin back to how it was because I was on a roll. I was doing so good, and then these big cystic acne came, and of course I popped it. I mean, of course, because I'm just an idiot, and now they've left these beautiful scars on my face. I do have a pimple patch on my face as well, just in case you can see that. But anyways, let's just not focus on my skin too much. So I'm on Cult Beauty, and it looks like they have 2 other Synchro Skin foundations. One is a Synchro Skin Glow, then the other one is a Synchro Skin Lasting Liquid Foundation. So I think this is like the 3rd one in the line. This is the Synchro Skin Self Refreshing Foundation. It also has SPF. So at the moment it looks like it's only on the SHISEIDO USA website, and it says it retails for $47. I'm assuming that's around maybe £40. So it's obviously a high-end foundation, but it doesn't seem to be on the UK SHISEIDO website yet, but I might be in stores. I'm not too sure, guys. So it says a SHISEIDO first in foundation that self-refreshes non-stop with active force technology. Our long-wearing liquid fluid foundation synchronizes with skin and helps resist heat, humidity, oil, and facial movement to maintain a just applied flawless finish that lasts 24 hours. I mean, this sounds amazing. Weightless, breathable, blendable, and buildable. It says it's medium buildable and it has a fresh natural finish. SPF 30, oil free, all day hydration, waterproof, smudge proof, humidity resistant, transfer resistant, dermatologist tested, non-comedogenic, which means it won't clog your pores, fragrance free, and for all skin types. So what I'm going to do is swatch these shades on my face so we can see if I have a match, and then we're going to go into testing it. I'm going to use a sponge on one side and a brush on the other. So the first shade I have is 440 Amber. Oh, I didn't see how many shades they have. So they have 30 shades altogether, which is actually really good. They seem like they cover a like wide variety of people. So these are all of the shades. So this is what the packaging looks like, and I think you just twist it to the side, that unlocks it, and then you can just pump it out onto your finger. Okay, I'm just going to take a little bit and do a little swatch. Oh, that looks like a good match. So that is 440 Amber. I'm also going to see if they do oxidize, if they dry down slightly darker than how they first apply. The next shade I have is 460 Topaz. So that is, oh, that one looks like a good one too, but it looks a bit too cool. But I like that they're not too far apart. Okay, so this one is definitely drying down darker. I don't know if you guys can see the edges of it. It's darker than the actual wet bit in the middle. So it definitely does dry down slightly darker. Most foundations do, so it's not a big deal. But this one seems to have like a neutral undertone, and then this one looks more like a warm undertone. And then the last shade I have is the darkest shade that I have anyway. There are darker, of course. This is 510 Suede, and I'll swatch this one back here. Wow, they're all very similar, just different undertones, and I really like that because I hate foundations that it's like one shade's really light, one shade's really medium, and then one shade's really dark, and they're all like one shade apart. We like a nice gradient, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that is 510. This one seems to have like an olive undertone, which actually looks really good for my skin tone. This one is probably a bit too neutral for me. Is it? I don't know. It looks okay on camera, but in real life it actually. So what I'm gonna do is give them a minute to dry down, and then I'll decide which one I think will suit my skin tone. Okay, so I think that's enough time to dry down. They have dried down considerably darker than how they first applied. Now I'm not sure what color I want to go with, because at first I was thinking maybe this one, but this one seems to have gone really deep. So for primer, I'm going to go in with the Bamboo Matte by Arborian, and I'm just going to use that on my T-zone area, the place that tends to get really oily. I think I'm just gonna go with the lightest one, which is 440 Amber, and let's just pray for the best. I'm gonna do a brush on this side, so we'll start with this side and then we'll see side by side how much it covers and everything. I'm gonna take like one full pump and another half pump, and let's see how far that spreads. I'm gonna take this flat top buffing brush by Blank Canvas. This is the F20 brush, and I'm just gonna begin blending that in. Like I said, it is quite a liquidy, lightweight foundation, so it's not super thick. It should blend really well and carry it down my neck, of course. So they claim it is a medium buildable foundation, so far it definitely is a medium. You can still see my horrible new scars, but it is what it is. It seems to be sinking into the skin beautifully, like it's not sitting on top. It is melting in, even in my skin tone really well, but not like super cakey and thick. It looks really good. Lately I've been into like more medium coverage foundations, like a lightweight foundation and then going in with my spot concealer, my e.l.f. concealer, and just like spot concealing, or my Revolution Conceal and Define and like spot concealing where I need extra coverage. So yeah, there is 1.5 pumps. It definitely is. Oh, I forgot to do my forehead. So as you can see from side to side, it definitely has evened my skin tone. It hasn't given me a lot of coverage. It's given me a medium, which is kind of what they claim anyway. So they did also claim it is buildable. So what I think I might do is go in with one more pump and just see if I can build that up on this area. I'm just gonna stipple it onto the center of my cheeks. I hope this doesn't become super thick and cakey now with a second layer, but let's see if it builds up. And let me put some on my forehead as well. It doesn't have a smell, which I like. I don't tend to like foundations that have like a strong scent, but that definitely has built up. As you can see, there's a little bit more coverage. Still not full coverage, but it's definitely built to a high medium now. Before it was a low medium. And I really like how it still looks like skin, even though I've gone in with 2 layers. It doesn't look heavy. It looks really natural and fresh. I'm not mad at the shade. I hope it stays like this. I don't really want it to get darker than this. I think it matches pretty well. The undertone is really good as well, so I'm glad I went with this shade. It hasn't settled into, yeah, like I was saying, it hasn't settled into any of my pores, and it just looks really nice and skin-like on the face, which I really like. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side with a sponge. Okay, sponge is wet, and I just looked at the foundation in natural lighting in my bathroom mirror, and oh my god, it looks so flawless. It literally looks like skin. Like the finish of it is not super matte, but it's not really glowy and greasy. It just looks really nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the same amount of foundation, a pump and a half to begin with, and then we'll build it up if we need to. And I'm gonna go ahead and dab it with my sponge. I love how quick a sponge applies foundation, but I don't like the fact that it sucks up most of the product. But yeah, this is blending out really easy, really fast. Bada bing, bada boom. That is how fast a sponge blends out foundation. And once again, it has a medium finish. I still can see a little bit of my scarring, but it's even the skin tone. I'm gonna go in with one more pump and try build it up just like we did with the other side, and I'm gonna concentrate that on my cheek where I have most of my scarring, a little bit on my forehead as well. Oh, I like the way it applies with a sponge, and it doesn't seem to be taking up most of the coverage. Usually with a sponge you find that it just sucks up all the coverage, but I still find that the coverage is the same. So now we're gonna go in and test the concealers, which are really, really tiny. Let me compare it to my e.l.f. concealer. So it's like half the size. Oh my god, can I film this video? Okay, let's try this again. So this is it compared to the e.l.f. concealer, so it's like half the size. Let's see how much product you get in here. So you only get 5.8 milliliters in here, which is really, really tiny. Let me see how much it retails for. So it retails for $31, which is quite a lot for the amount that you get. I mean, that's like what, £25 for a 5 milliliter concealer. It has the same claims as the foundation, that it resists heat, oil, humidity, maintains coverage that lasts for 24 hours, weightless, breathable, blendable, all of that stuff that, you know, they said for the concealer. They said the coverage is medium to full, natural finish, lasting finish, and the concealer comes in 16 shades, and once again it seems to have a good range of shades. So the 2 shades that I have here are 304 medium, and then I have 401 tan, which looks like that. So they look like pretty good shades for underneath my eyes. I think this one might be a good skin tone shade, and then this one would be a good brightening shade for under my eyes. So what I'm going to try do is take the 401 tan shade. Let's see. Oh, it has a funny little doe foot. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm going to take this and try like do spot concealing. Yeah, that looks like a good skin tone shade for me. So I'm going to try do a little bit of spot concealing. And once again on this side, I'm going to take it with my brush and dab that in. I like to dab it so that, you know, the coverage stays where I put it. Wow, that has given me full coverage now. So both of the products together have given me full coverage. You can't see any of my scarring. And then on this side, I'm going to take my sponge and dab that in and see which one gives me more coverage. The concealer blends out really easy as well, and it is super lightweight, just like the foundation. It's not thick. I feel like I have got more coverage with a brush with the concealer. Like I feel like I can't see any of my scars, but I still can see a shadow of my scars there. So I'm just going to take my foundation brush and dab over this area. So far I like that for spot concealing. It's definitely evened my whole face. Like I definitely feel like I've got full coverage at the minute. Now I'm going to go into the lighter shade, which is 304, and I'm going to go underneath my eyes and brighten that area. I usually don't do this until after I've done my eyeshadow, so I really don't know what I'm doing right now, but we're gonna go with it. So I'm just, people don't want me to film this video today, they don't. I'm gonna take my sponge on this side and blend that in underneath the eyes. Wow, that coverage is beautiful. Look at that, and the color is perfection for underneath my eyes. I really like that. Okay, and then on this side I'm going to take a brush and dab that in, and we'll see. I do typically blend in my concealer with a sponge, but for today I just want to see the difference. It seems to have dried down really well. Like it's not, it doesn't feel tacky as I'm bouncing it in. It doesn't feel like wet or anything. So it definitely is, I would say, a medium. It's not as full as like the e.l.f. concealer, but it definitely has given me a lifted, brighter, covered effect. So I really do like it. But before I go ahead and set everything, I'm gonna go and do my eyeshadow. I'm gonna be using the new Revolution New Neutrals palette for another video that you guys will see very soon. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then I'll come back to you guys so we can we can set the face with the invisible, we'll see, powder. So I'll be back. Okay guys, and I'm back. So I've done my eyeshadow. I used the Revolution Pro New Neutrals palette, and the tutorial or testing video for this should be out on my channel Sunday, hopefully. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for that this weekend. But I had to go ahead and wipe off my concealer and start again, because obviously I used glitter, I used eyeshadow, and it all just fell out on my face. So I had to wipe off my under eye concealer, go back in with another layer, and just blend that in with my sponge. So that is where we're at so far. Now I'm gonna go in with the SHISEIDO Kreskin Invisible Silk Loose Powder. I really hope this is invisible, because I like my makeup so far, so I don't want it to be ruined. So this does come with a powder puff, but I think I'm just gonna use my sponge like I normally do. It comes with a plastic thing. Oh, it has like a sheet, like a little net, I think, that you press your sponge into and the powder comes out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take my sponge, press it in there, and it doesn't seem to be releasing a lot of powder compared to what I usually use. Anyways, let me try this thin layer and see what we can do underneath the eyes. I'm gonna try shake some powder out, just because I feel like I'm not getting any because of this net. So now we're gonna try that. Do you think I should try a sponge on one side and a brush on the other? Well, I'm using the sponge on the brush side at the moment, so well done, Tammy. It's not giving me a mattifying effect. I feel like my under eyes still look pretty hydrated. Like they still look pretty, compared to what I'm used to, a little bit dewy, yeah. I'm gonna try to take some onto a brush and see if I get more, but there's tons of powder just dusting into the air. I don't know if you guys can see that. And see what happens. Oh no, this is definitely a glowy powder. Oh my god. This is giving me radiance underneath my eyes. Definitely a glowy powder. Let me see what it says about the powder on the website. Okay, so this powder retails for $38. It comes in two finishes, radiance and matte. Let me see which one I have. I have the Radiant powder. I thought so. I was literally like, my under eye is glowing right now. What is going on? It says subtle luminosity finish. Okay. It all makes sense now, guys. I thought I was losing my mind, but no, this powder definitely has a natural radiant finish to it. So the other powder option that they have is matte, and I feel like I would have preferred that, obviously, because my oily skin. I do prefer matte powders. So obviously, because I've done it on this side, I'm gonna have to do it on this side, but I am gonna go ahead and set with one of my other powders, just because I'm not really a fan of highlighting powders at the moment anyway. Take my Too Faced Born This Way translucent powder. I've been loving this recently, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that on top. I'm gonna take it on my sponge and just press that underneath my eyes to give me a mattified, flawless face. But if you do have dry skin and you don't like dry under eyes, I feel like the Radiant powder would be a good option for you, because it really just looked like skin underneath my eyes with a slight glow to it. So I see the thought behind it, but for my skin type, it's just not for me. So far, the under eyes doesn't look as flawless as I'm used to, possibly because I had to use 2 powders, but the rest of my face looks really, really nice and natural, not cakey, not thick and heavy. Looks really, really nice. The only place that looks really kind of cakey is underneath my eyes, but like I said, I had to use 2 powders because I didn't know the other one was Radiant. Oh, by the way, it is 12:48, but when I started filming, it was like 11:30, so now it is nearly 1, and of course I filmed another video for my eye look, so it has been a few hours. But anyways, we're gonna do a wear test today. Let me finish the rest of my face and I'll come back to you. Okay guys, so my face is now complete. I just thought I would do my lips with you because I'm actually using SHISEIDO products as well. First, I went in with the Revolution Glory lip liner. This is my go-to lip liner. It just gives me the definition that I need. I'm gonna go in with the SHISEIDO lipstick in the shade Disrobed. This is their Modern Matte Power lipstick, and I don't think I've used this shade, but I've used the pinky beigey shade. Let me grab that. And this one's called Nude Streak. I've used this one before, and this is like my perfect nude. I absolutely love this lipstick. I love the formula as well. Really pigmented and really like matte, but not uncomfortable. Really nice formula. But the one I'm using today has like a pinky tone, so I think it would go nicely with the eyes. So let me show you guys. Look how it just glides on. Gorgeous formula. This color is not too bad as well. I think this is my first time using this color. It's like a peachy pink, so it's like halfway in between my comfort zone. I really like that mixed with the lip liner. Then I'm going to top it with my absolutely favorite gloss of the moment, which is the SHISEIDO Crystal Gel Gloss. Guys, this gives your lips like the lip plumper. I think I mentioned it in my previous videos. It makes my lips look so juicy, so pouty, and it just like, oh, it's definitely my favorite gloss at the minute. It is quite a thick gloss, but it doesn't feel sticky or goopy. It just feels really light, like nice on the lips. Like, look at that, guys. Don't tell me my lips haven't just gotten like 2 times bigger, 2 times juicier. I'm obsessed. Okay, I'm gonna stop going on about this lip gloss because I feel like I go on about it every video. So here we have the final look, guys. I am obsessed with this skin. It's so flawless, but so natural. It feels lightweight on my face. It doesn't feel like I'm caked in makeup. So far, out of all of the products that I tried, the foundation is definitely standing out to me as the best. So anyways, enough rambling. I'm gonna go about my day. It is now 1:20 in the afternoon, so I will catch up with you guys probably around 4ish, and then maybe again before I take it off at like 6, 7. So we'll have a good maybe 7, 8 hours wear. We'll see. Okay guys, so I've come into my bathroom because it has the best natural lighting, and I wanted to show you guys how the foundation looks in natural lighting. I really love how the body of the foundation looks. Of course, ignore my breakouts, but I love how flawless it sits on my skin. It looks really nice and like natural. Of course, you're wearing foundation, you're wearing makeup, but it does sit on the skin really naturally. The only part that I don't like is like my pores on my cheeks here. I feel like it was the Radiance powder that is drawing attention to my pores, and it does look a bit cakey in this area right here. My forehead looks really nice and smooth. My cheeks look really nice and smooth. It's literally just this area underneath my eyes and like my cheeks that I'm not really a fan of, but overall I think I do look pretty I look pretty cute in my opinion. So yeah, I just wanted to show you this foundation in natural lighting, and I'll catch you guys later. Okay guys, and I'm back for a quick check-in. It's now 5:36 in the afternoon. So I've picked up twins from school and it was pouring down with rain. I was also sweating. We've been playing with the kids. I did a little bit of editing, so I've definitely been doing stuff inside and outside. So this is how we're looking so far, and I put this on at what, 11:30 did I say? So it's been 6 hours so far, and I definitely think this is looking pretty good for an oily skin type. Of course, my oils are starting to come through on certain points of my face, like this point and also my nose, and you know, the typical places I tend to get oily, but it doesn't look terrible at all. It definitely still looks wearable and fresh, and I really like it. It doesn't look overly greasy. It is a slightly more dewy than I personally prefer, but I don't think it looks bad at all. So what I'm going to do is take my sponge and just like dab over the oily areas. Actually, first what I'm going to do is take this oil blotting paper. So I'm just going to take the oil off of my face. So I'm literally just going to dab that onto my nose and try remove the oil without removing the foundation. Oily skin types, can you relate? So even just using that one sheet of oil blotting paper, I feel like it already looks 10 times better. It's taken me back to how I looked when I first left you guys, and that's without, you know, any touch-ups or anything. Literally simply removing my oily skin, and it's literally gone back to being normal. I think it looks so good on the face. I feel like the coverage is holding up beautifully. It's not fading, it's not going patchy. I feel like it's wearing very, very well. So this is how we look. I don't even feel like I need to touch up with powder or anything. These lashes are not gonna last any longer. I am tired. Woo, my eyes feel free. Okay guys, I'm back for my last check-in. It is now 7:45 in the evening, so it's been on since 11. That's how many hours? No way, 9 hours. No, that's not right. About 8.5, 9 hours, which is insane. This looks so good. I mean, for an oily skin type, this has lasted beautifully. It did say it had like 24 hours wear, but I don't think it's lasted. I don't think it will last that long. But it's definitely lasted like a full work day, an 8-hour work day. It just looks like the foundation is starting to like gather in certain areas on my chin, and it doesn't look amazing. And of course it is kind of looking porous. My pores are starting to get very like big, but overall I think this foundation has worn beautifully, and I definitely look forward to using this again, but mixed with like my favorite concealer and my favorite setting powder. The concealer I'm not a huge fan of. I don't feel like I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and be like, oh my god, I need to use that concealer again. I can definitely live my life without it. Same with the powder. I'm not really a fan of like radiance powders. So overall, if you were looking into the Shiseido Synchro Skin self-refreshing line, I recommend the foundation. Maybe try get a little sample pot of it, try it out, see if it works for your skin type. Anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling now, so let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Please give this video a thumbs up because it took me all day to film. Please make sure you are subscribed, and I'll catch you in my next one. Take care. Bye.